we didn't realize what was happening early on. They kept telling us all of our patients were dying of COVID. It was not COVID that was killing any of these patients. It was the complete and total medical mismanagement of COVID. It was the remdesivir, ventilator, death. Wash, rinse, repeat. This is what we were seeing over and over happen in these hospitals. And I'm far from the only nurse that can tell you this. I know that you've interviewed Nicole Siratek. She could tell you what was happening in hospitals that she was at. Nurse Erin, same thing. So it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see what has become of this.
Can I share something with you, Nicole? I thought I knew a lot. I mean, I've had name a doctor, Dr. Judy Mikovits, Dr. Brian Artis. I mean, I've literally been brought up since 14 days to flatten the curve by some of our top frontline professionals, period. Doctors, lawyers, everyone. But Nicole yesterday stunned me. You know what she said? And I want you to emphasize this point, and we're going to say it to this audience too. She said they ordered 35,000 ventilators. She goes, how come they didn't order an equal number of feeding tubes?
Interesting. That's a good point.
I was stunned by that. I'm like, That's absolutely right. And she broke it down. She said, you can't put somebody on a ventilator without a feeding tube. They're going to starve to death. They will die.
Correct.
And that is an indisputable fact, is it not?
Yeah.
Wow.
I agree with her 100%. To see what was happening with, placing these patients on the ventilators. And again, they kept telling us, they have all of the nurses scared to death, telling us all of our patients are dying of COVID. Listen, if they were dying of the virus alone, why weren't we pulling bodies from homes? Why weren't we pulling bodies off of the streets? If you think about our homeless population, the only place anybody was dying was in our hospitals. And it's because they were dying of the treatments. They were dying of the treatment, the medical mismanagement of COVID. The remdesivir was poisoning people. We were shutting down their organs. We were placing them on ventilators. Then they kept getting secondary bacterial infections, and they are succumbing to those. They're getting blood clots because they're not being ambulated properly. We couldn't even get doctors and PT up on the floor to ambulate patients. People were too afraid. It was mostly just the nurses. And then the doctors would either come and look through the glass windows of the ICU and take the nurse's report. They were not going in and putting their hands. But a problem that was happening that people aren't talking about enough is how we were intubating patients, not because they were in distress, but in an effort to contain the virus. They were pushing for early intubation, knowing that 80% of the patients, or even more, 80% or more of those patients that were placed on a ventilator never made it off. It was the most egregious thing I've ever seen in my career.
And it